Hello. Today is December 26th, 2020. Hope you're doing all right. Today we're going to talk about liberty and excuse me. What it means to be free. And we have talked about this subject. We've talked about certain aspects of this subject, but today we're going to talk about it as it has to do with a fear of becoming free, a fear that we may have inside of standing alone. And the two do go hand in hand. Because if my so-called freedom is tied to certain conditions and certain people and certain situations, that's not freedom. Or rather, if my so-called freedom, or what I am considering as freedom, is attached to outcomes, to people, to situations based on fear, that is not freedom. That is a word calling itself freedom. But the truth is, we want the perks of what we believe freedom is: to be free, to have liberty. Yet, like everything in this dualistic reality we live in, there are two sides to that coin. You can have all the perks. You can possibly have all the perks that come with freedom, along with the things that, since we're speaking of coins, we'll say the other side of the coin is what it costs. Nothing is free. That is not a bad thing. That is what dualism is. That is the yin and the yang. We want what we want, but we don't want to have to pay for it. We don't want to realize you can't walk in the store, any store, and just walk out with merchandise or food without paying for it. That's not a bad thing. Nobody would say, oh, that's not fair. You should just be able to go in there and take what you want and walk out the door. Okay, well, that's life in this reality, this place, this world. Well, one of the exchanges, or one of the costs of freedom is, oh boy, it is very, 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 very difficult and goes well beyond any intellectualizing or kind of the way we move around in this place kind of displays, or even intention. It's down deep into the nitty-gritty of what it really means to be truly free. We've talked about these ideas of, other people's opinions of us and how we can be attached to that. And sometimes it's very obvious, and sometimes it's more covert. It's more hidden within us that we really do put some weight on that somewhere in us. It's there. It may not be the first thing that comes to our mind. Oh, what's Susie gonna think? But for many of us, it's in the mix somewhere to some degree. But we're not even just talking about opinions. We're talking about this kind of freedom that says, I don't have all the answers, but that's my business. And I don't need to explain myself to other people for not having all the answers. It says, I do have some answers. And some of those answers that I have, by the way, answers meaning answers for how I'm moving and existing in this place. I have some of the answers for how I'm moving and existing in this place that work for me and that feel like I am having integrity to myself. Okay? Those answers. Some of those answers that I have, no motherfucker, excuse me, is going to understand. Nobody's going to get it. And I'm okay with that. Nobody in my circle is going to give me a thumbs up. And we have kind of talked about this a bit in a couple of recordings previously. It's standing alone in those moments where something that you're doing or feeling resonates deeply within you as right for you, but it does not resonate at all with anyone else. Being able to not give up what is true and right for us in the face of everyone else giving us a big thumbs down, 2 big thumbs down, is incredibly hard. Especially when it can sometimes even become or feel, we'll just say that, it can feel, and sometimes it can outrightly be just a meanness, a judgment, and whatever. People may say things, make remarks, people may whatever, say whatever, do whatever, treat us differently. And to be able to stand through that and still know, no, it's not stubbornness when your being is at peace with the way you are moving. It is integrity. It is part of freedom. It is a very difficult part of the requirement. Freedom is not free in that sense. Freedom is freedom from all of those things, all of the obstacles, all of those restrictions that come in upon us or around us, squeezing in on us for whatever reason, judging us, to go against what we feel to be true and right for ourselves. Well, if we're serious about wanting to be free, and not everybody wants to be free, and that's our choice. And not everyone is in a place, maybe they feel like mentally, yes, I want to be free. In fact, who's not going to say that? Everybody's going to say that. But the way we exist in this place, the way we speak and think and live is what the truth is, not just what we say. All of it is a reflection of what our deepest desires are when it comes to freedom. So while there's lots of books and there's all this kind of blah, 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 and everybody's on board, yeah, let me get on the freedom train. Well, guess what? You don't got your ticket. Sorry. You can't just put your ass on the train because you say, hey, I like the way that sounds. Well, Yeah, we like the way the one side of the coin sounds. Like, yeah, that sounds great, fantastic. But it's hard. It's very, very hard. And that's why you find that people in history, when you read about those who had integrity, who really displayed integrity because it was the fiber of them, oftentimes, if not always, they were going against the grain of society, their peers, friends and family. People are scratching their heads. You see, many of these people were pioneers in some way, but it came at a cost. It may have been easier in some sense to just kind of slack off, or rather to break integrity to what they understood within themselves to be right for themselves, to please those around them. But they didn't do it. And some people even said, hey, this is going to probably mean my death. But I can't not do this. I can't not say these things. I cannot not believe what I believe. And I cannot unknow something that I know in my heart. But, it's easy to make movies, and kind of glamorize it. But there's struggles that go with it to be free from those restrictions that kind of keep people from really realizing what they truly are. Because we can only realize our essence and really know it when we allow it to grow unimpeded, uninterrupted, and without all of the noise of those voices and just all that noise going on around us saying, no, 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 that can't be right. When our spirit within us is shouting, is radiating through every cell in our being, yes, 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 this is right for you. And of course, we shouldn't have to say this, but we're not talking about things that would be harmful to yourself or to other people. Okay? We're talking about health and wholeness. See, it's very difficult, but that's just the nature of the beast. Call it a beast. Call it whatever you want to call it, but whatever it is, it's not as easy as, saying, I want this thing, and boom, it magically appears. No. So anyway, those are some thoughts that we're having today.